Welcome to my anonymous friend. Now here are your hosts, Tammy Cox and Jennifer McCullum.
Jen, we both know how the big impact that date night makes on your marriage. We both have very long-term relationships. We've both been married a long time, have kids. It is hard to keep the spice and excitement in a long-term relationship when you have so many responsibilities.
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to know, how long have you been married? Or how long have you been together?
We have been together 16 years. It was 16 in October. And we've been married for 14 and a half years.
Okay.
And you guys?
So we've been together almost 20 years, and we've been married 12 of the almost. I say 20, it's probably 18, but yeah, 12
Yeah,
years.
18 sounds a little bit more.
18 is, but I worked hard for those extra 2 years that we haven't been married.
You've been added to it.
But, okay, so I want to hear all about what ideas do you have for some date nights?
Yeah.
Let's talk about those.
And we know this is important because, well, I think we're both quality time girls.
Very.
But even if you're not a quality time person, I think to develop the relationship, like so many couples, their marriage ends because when their kids all leave the nest, what happens is the couple doesn't have anything in common. The only thing that they had in common were their kids. So I know this as a coach, hearing the stories, it's like so many of them break up once they lose that connection. And sometimes that last little connection with the kids are almost all left in the nest or are fully grown, and the parents feel like, oh, I don't even know you.
Well, growing up and always learning, I learned from counselors and coaches that you do need a date night for just you and your spouse. You need that time because truly we all focus on the kids. It's always the kids. And you're right. Like, I was like, before I started dating my spouse, truly, like dating my spouse and falling in love unconditionally, because you go through those points in marriage where it's kind of like, it feels like you're with your roommate, right? And raising kids. And date nights truly helped, like fun date nights. And I should have done that a long time ago when we first started, but you have to go through the hard to understand.
Well, I think when you really need it is when your relationship kind of goes through those lulls where you're like,
everybody needs it in marriage.
I mean, it's the one relationship that needs the most attention, but yet most people neglect it. And that's why I say the divorce happens after the kids are raised, because they've neglected their relationship for so long. And a marriage or even a long-term partnership, it needs to be nurtured like crazy. So we want to give you some extra ideas. I know for me, whenever I get with another couple where their relationship is really thriving, you ask them, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys are so in love. You've been together so long. You have this family. You have all this responsibility. But like why is your relationship thriving? And they will almost always give you little tips and tricks. And of course, some people say real general things like, communication.
Which I always say. I always say
downplay communication, because communication is huge.
Definitely.
But there has to be other things.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And so, and what communication means to everyone is different. Like, you say hi to me every day. Oh, we communicated today. Like, is that communication?
But communication is different.
But I love to ask people this question. And so I did that recently. I was asking this super cute couple what they did. They were very into their date nights. And I asked them, like, what some of their ideas are. Because I love, give me some ideas, And she said that they love watching the Food Network. And they love watching the cooking competition. So they decided to do that. They went to this grocery store. They picked out like a meal that they were each going to make, or a dish, I should say, a dish that they were each going to make. They went back to the house, made their dish, and then they judged it. And I'm sure they
So
were.
it was like a competition. So
it was a cute little competition.
So
that
let's
they
say the
created.
Food Network is having lasagna. So you go and you make the lasagna and whoever makes it better wins.
Yeah.
Eric would always make it better.
I know. Well, like
But
they
that's
said,
fun. That's so fun. You have leftovers, you have meals. It was fun. It's a competition. Your food is love to me. You know that.
But think about it. It could be you could each create. You could create something. It doesn't even have to be food, really. Like say one's
to me, it does.
One's a baker, one's like it could be an appetizer. It could be.
That's true. Yeah.
It could be like whatever.
That's
I just
cute.
thought it was like the coolest idea.
You did it. You did it with Derek, didn't you?
No, we haven't even done it yet.
I thought you did it, so you have to do it.
No, but we do. That's one thing that we do a lot is we cook together.
And how does that feel? Like it's just, what is it when it's you and him just cooking? Is that a date? Is it kind of a...
When we are cooking towards the same goal, like say we want this meal and I'm like, oh, I'm making this. And he's like, oh, I can make this. And when it's like that,
That's fun.
But there are some times where we are in a legit competition and he's like, no, I don't want that. I want this. So I'm making this. And I'm like, well, fine. I'm making this for myself and the kids and you could eat whatever you want. So sometimes we do get a little nasty with it. But most of the time, we really enjoy cooking together.
That's a good tip, though. I'm going to definitely try that. Even though I hate cooking, I'm going to try to do something like that I love.
Well, you can make it your
fun.
own. You can make it your own. Like you could make.
I'm going to look in the recipe book and be like, hey, I want you to make this. I'm going to make this. And we're going to compete whose is better.
But you know what else would be a super cute idea? To do like a painting. Do you know that you can go on YouTube? You know how they have the classes, the painting
Yes,
classes.
yeah.
In fact, we're doing one this weekend. But do you know that you can? Derek and I have done this with the kids before. This was a great like family date night kind of thing, family activity. But we put up on YouTube a video and they teach you how to paint.
Yeah.
And we started with something very simple because our older girls were young at the time, but it was a really cute idea. So you could do it as a couple where you pull something up on YouTube and you guys paint it together.
Well, you know, the kids don't need to be around.
Yeah.
It's
No, date night is date
but
night.
family night, like I think that would be so entertaining and it would like keep them focused and it's just
We should do a podcast on that for our next Friday freebie.
What do you think on like family?
Yeah, family
activities.
Yeah.
Family date nights, right? Because I have a couple
Family nights.
Family nights. I have a couple ideas about that too. But thank you for sharing that one on the Food Network because you know my heart's all about food. I love food and anything that's surrounded with food.
You like eating food. You do not like cooking food. Mm-hmm. But you know what?
I have
You
a
know what
husband
your
for that.
superpower is? You could make a charcuterie board because that's your jam. You are
I
real
can.
freaking good at that.
But how often do those all get eaten? Like I made a
Derek
huge
and I
one.
make little tiny ones.
Oh,
like,
I would
all
eat
the
little
time.
tiny ones, but I'm into the huge ones, and not all the food gets ate. So it's like I feel like so much gets wasted. It just sits out for hours.
So do a little charcuterie for two.
Okay, we'll do that. Let's talk about number 2.
Yeah, because that's your idea, and I think
I'm
it's
hungry.
brilliant.
I'm hungry. So here's my idea. We do this every date night. Like it's happening. It happens. Me and my husband, we love food. You could tell by looking at us, we love food. But
You don't just love food; you like the variety.
So it's not that I love food. I love being surrounded by people I love, eating good food and different foods. So yesterday, me and Tammy, to talk about this podcast that we're going to do, she goes, okay, we're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts or short version of it. We're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. That's fine. I go, no, we're going to Popeyes first. Then we'll go to Dutch. And she's like, okay, well, I'm craving In-N-Out. Okay, we're going to Popeyes, Dutch, In-N-Out. Like we love the variety. So every time we try to do this at least once a month, and I will pick like a couple places that I know I love and a couple places that he likes. It's about 5 different places. And
Yeah, tell us about the last one. I want to know about where you went and
Okay.
what dishes you had and everything.
Oh my gosh, yum. So our last one, we started the date night. We go and we went to Blue Wasabi, and that was to have the dessert drinks at Blue Wasabi. And I'm not a drinker, but the drinks that I absolutely love are
Dessert
like
martinis.
It tastes like a thin mint, a butterscotch. So good. So we go there, we have them. I definitely always try to go happy hour to these places, but it doesn't always work out. And the shit that I like is not always on happy hour. But Blue Wasabi, we started off at to drink martinis. Then we went to Olive Garden and had the Zeta Frita. Oh my gosh, it's like a noodle that's fried, and then you dip it in Alfredo sauce. And oh my gosh. So we get like 2 of those. Okay. Then we go to Firebirds and we get the bread. We get the deviled eggs with bacon on it. It's like this good, thick, juicy, fat Canadian like sugar bacon. It's freaking good. It's on top of these deviled eggs. So good. I'm like a deviled egg person. If a restaurant has deviled eggs, I'm getting deviled eggs. I don't know what it is.
You should taste Derek's then.
Are you serious?
They're gourmet.
Derek, I need deviled eggs like right now. Okay. And then after that, we went to Popeyes and we shared a chicken sandwich, and he got red beans and rice. Then after that, we do a couple errands that we have to do, and then we'll go and we'll let all that food settle. And we either pick a different place or we go home and binge watch our show together in the room after having all that good food.
How long does this take? Like because what I love probably the most about it, because Derek and I, we go out to eat, but we'll go.
But then you
eat
come
at one
home
place
and then
come home,
Yeah.
and then we're like, what do we do? We're like,
so I'll be like,
I love
if we're
that.
out, if we're out, I'll be like, okay, so do you want to go home right now? He'll be like, how do you feel? I'll be like, what would you want to do? Because a lot of the time, Eric is so like generous and compassionate and wants to do anything to make me smile. So I'm like, what feels good to you? Are you tired, or you just want to go home and binge watch Walking Dead? And he's like, we can go shooting. And so we'll go shooting. So this will start about maybe 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and it will go till like 9:30. Sometimes we go shooting. Sometimes we'll go to oh my gosh. So after we did Firebirds and we got that, we went to Fat Cats and we bought 1 hour of bowling together, and me and him bowled. Bowled. We bowled.
Oh, that's cute.
But Eric is so freaking competitive.
Oh, I've seen it.
When I was 1 point away from winning, and I went like this and threw the ball, and he screamed and scared me. So it went in the gutter.
Rude.
So I lost. But he was about to lose. So in my head, I won. But so we went to Fat Cats. We played the basketball game. We just did things that were fun. And I was like, I'm always like, no, I don't want to go shooting, or I don't want to do, that. But he let me have all those appetizers that I wanted. He filled my belly. He filled my heart. But that's just a date night that we did. And we just decided each place, like as we were going. I'm like, okay, he's like, do you want to go eat sushi now? And I'm like, I wanted sushi earlier, but after having that, like, I want this. And he'll be like, okay.
You don't like sushi.
I do like sushi. I like deep fried California rolls with cream cheese.
That's not even.
But that was our date night. Next time we'll have to go on a double date night. But we do double date nights, and we would go to the hookah lounge. We would go places.
We've done Topgolf before.
So we need to do more though.
But
this is on date nights. Sorry, I'm getting into double date nights.
Yeah, you're going all the way left.
Yeah.
We had a couples counselor years and years ago, and she gave a really great idea because we're at a place in our marriage where it's just not really thriving, which was why we were seeing her. But she gave us a really good
Nothing's
idea.
wrong with counseling.
She gave us a really good idea. She said, take turns. So not just one person is planning the date nights and, you're sharing the load. So she's like, one time you get to choose, the next time you get to choose. And it was really cool. And I was like, what a great idea it would be to go shooting. Derek he was in law enforcement for 16 years. So going shooting to him felt like work. So we didn't do stuff like that. But what would be fun for for us to do for you. Maybe we go do some axe throwing or some
escape room.
rock climbing, an escape room.
It's just, there's so many ideas that you could do during that. But I think not having my mind set on something when we did the date night, what made it everything, because we just went by our tails. Like we were like, okay, let's go to Olive Garden. Or I was like, what do you want next? Do you want this? Do you want this? Or do you want to go here? And I gave him kind of a choices, and he's like, let's do this. So it's just like not having a set idea, but just going at the seat of your pants and being with the person that you absolutely love and communicating, not having the radio on when you're driving to these places, because we drove a lot, legit a lot. And just talking and laughing and just being like talking about, we really just ate and now we're going here. Like it was just, it felt like the romance. It felt the friendship, the intimacy. It felt good, not like rushing on date night, not having it planned.
Having like this
just rigid schedule. Because I feel like when I have this set schedule of we have dinner plans at this restaurant at this time and this time, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't like the way that feels.
It felt so
confining,
like
rigid.
Like you just have to follow it. No, it felt like mandatory.
Well,
but I love your, okay, no. So now that we're done with the whole going to 10 different restaurants, first of all,
10
it costs
is a
a
lot
lot of freaking money. But when you do it once a month, it's so worth it. It's so much fun. But I love your idea. And I know I always say I'm going to try it, and I do because shit works. I want to go do the clothes thing. Right?
Yeah.
That was just tell me about that.
So there's two different ways you could do it. One's on a budget and one is still on a budget, just not as much. Okay,
I'm on a budget though. Kind of, right?
Kind of. I mean, not a lot of people have a whole lot of money to pour into a date night.
That's why I say appetizers. First of all, we didn't ever get a full course meal. Appetizers, happy hour. And a lot of those football players and stuff at high schools was selling those cards that you get a free Popeye sandwich if you buy a large drink or something like that. So we used a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm saying kind of that on a budget. But
well, I mean, people can take and do with it what they want. They might go to 3 places. I think the big part of it too is when you're getting served. If you have a server, you're dealing with tip and all that. But you went to Popeyes for one, like a little fast food. You don't have to tip anyone. If you go to someplace like that, that's ruled out. I just think there's always ways of I like getting ideas.
Okay.
So I would take your idea. I would never do exactly what you do because that's way too many places for me.
We some hungry folks.
Well, I mean, it's not even about that. I could eat the same sitting down in one place. But for me, it's just too much movement. But I could take it and make it my own and say, okay, 3 places.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Go to your 3 favorite places, grab an appetizer from each. But what are you?
Yeah,
what are
so this
you gotta
idea,
look good. Wait, you gotta look good to go to these places. So
true.
what are you doing to look good and have Derek look good too?
Well, this is not, it's not really about me feeling like I look good. It's about my spouse being like, I want you to wear this. Yeah, so
him picking out it.
Yeah, it's not about me picking out my own outfit, but him picking it out for me. So there's 2 ways of doing this. One, to make it really fun, you go to a thrift store and you have a theme, right? Like, so the whole night is a theme. Say it's like 70s theme or 80s. It could be like a genre, or it could be something really wild.
Exotic.
But you get to pick for your partner what they're going to wear. So you could go to a thrift store, or the super low budget way is to go into their closet and pick it. But either way, you're picking out their outfit. Now, what would make it super fun is if you had a complete character for the night. Right? So there's websites
Were you
where
a
you
character for a night before?
There's websites where you can create a print. You can print out your character. Oh, this is Violet von Schweetz, and she's Like, you can get the whole
What the
character,
fuck?
and then you could give it to your husband and be like, okay, find me an outfit for her. I'm going to be her for the night. You speak in an accent the whole night. You go to a you play the whole part. It is
Okay.
like a thing. This is if you want to go all the way out.
Okay, so this is entertaining.
The milder version is if you just go to a thrift store or go in your partner's closet, pick out their things to wear, and then go out. Because
I think that's so cool. Like I told you when you were telling me that I would love Eric to pick out my outfit, because if he picks it out, I already know, first of all, he likes it. He wants to get it out. Because why would he pick an outfit that he doesn't like me in? And then he just gets to take it off after date night. We won't get into that.
Yeah, we won't get into that,
But,
because
okay.
that'll take us down a whole rabbit hole.
Make that hole big. Okay, talk about your thrift store.
Okay.
But I love that.
But like, imagine like playing a whole part, right? You are the whole character.
yeah, I'm the fucking queen.
Yeah.
I want to be a queen.
But I want
him to
you
be
know
in
me.
the
This is
dungeon.
my thing. This is my thing. I could speak in one accent the whole night. I could play the whole part.
Show them
I
your
will be
accents really
in
fast.
character.
Show them your British accent first.
My British accent is probably my most qualified one and practiced amongst many, many years.
Yeah.
I would probably do.
Which one?
I
Show
would
me.
probably do. Like, I love I don't want to get myself in trouble. But how fun would it be to get your character, or your spouse chooses your character and your outfit?
My husband would choose an Avenger person, a Avenger girl, or Superwoman, or
My husband would
Catwoman.
choose a streetwalker. No, I'm just kidding. He would choose.
We're watching Walking Dead.
He wouldn't choose anything that is quote unquote embarrassing, because he knows I don't get embarrassed. He would choose.
What would he choose?
I don't know.
So off the top of your head, give a couple. That was the 3 date night ideas, but give a couple fast ones off the top of your head.
Well, I like to give people ideas for how to, if you are on a lower budget.
Yeah.
As far as like babysitting goes, I know a lot of people have that. It's nice to have a friend that you could trade babysitting with. Like, say you're not in the same city, you don't have family to help, or you don't have, parents around, you have no babysitting, you can trade with your friends. So that's a great idea where you can just agree to it ahead of time and switch off.
Yeah.
So the other idea that I have not tried yet, but want to, is my husband and I go into a bar and pretend like we're totally different people, and he has to pick me up. Hey girl, how you doing? What are your lines? Come on, pick me up. Let's see if it works again.
I'm using that one because I want that attention. I want to feel like he's working for it.
Yeah.
The beginning of it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. For my next date night, I'm going to have him pick out the outfit. I am going to go to the bar, have him pick me up basically and hit on me. And then I'm going to have him take me to my 5 restaurants.
Oh, I have another little idea.
What?
Trying to find, your sex life as a married person can get a little, or if you've been together a long time, it can get a little sleepy. So finding different places to have sex. In your car, maybe.
Be careful.
In your car in different places.
Indecent exposure. Your husband was a cop. Will he really do that?
No.
Yeah. But I would love to hear that he
It could
did.
be in different
That'd be
places.
crazy.
It could be in different places of your house, though.
Yeah. Everybody has, not me.
It could be in different places.
Different places.
Yeah.
Fun
Switch
places.
it up.
Don't ever
Switch
do
it
it
up.
right here. Okay? Don't. I don't want
You're
your
giving
ass
me
prints right here.
so many
You're
ideas.
gonna be like, Jen told me no. You guys, thank you so much for joining us on My Anonymous Friend.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.